It is morning in Los Angeles and it is morning in America. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and today is Wednesday, October the 7th. All right, as you can tell, I have a lot more energy today than I did the past few days. I went to bed last night very early, and now I'm up and going, and I think I'm a little bit too wired this morning, and I don't even drink coffee. All right, so let's get some of the side news stories out the way in the social media stuff. ThePurpleElephantShow.com is the main podcasting platform. There you can listen to all of the episodes of The Purple Elephant Show, including the exclusive podcast only episodes. You'll see PCO by those episodes. That lets you know those episodes are podcast only. As for, let me think, Instagram, Parler, ThePurpleElephantShow.com, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show, Twitter @RealTPES, and if you are watching this on BitChute, Dailymotion, or YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That will let you know when I upload new videos. And for all who have been supporting, especially in the BitChute community, thank you for that. And again, shout out to Ireland as well, because it's amazing that I have a lot of podcast listeners in Ireland. All right, let's go ahead and get to the side news stories. First side news story, as you know, tonight is the debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. It happens at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be watching it. I don't expect much from it. Kamala Harris already has her lines memorized as to what she plans to go after. Mike Pence can handle himself. He's a little bit different in debating than President Trump is. President Trump sort of just goes with the flow. Mike Pence is a little bit more structured, I should say. So it will be interesting to see how he replies to her attacks, because obviously she plans on bringing up what has recently happened to the president and the first lady and everything else, which I'm going to go into a little bit later. And obviously she's going to throw the racist stuff out there a bunch of times. But I'm telling you right now, if she throws anything, if she drops any hint of racist or racism in any of her attacks, then Mike Pence is going to go right after her on her running mate and exactly what she said about her running mate being racist. And then, depending on who the moderator is, the moderator will go in and try and save her, just like Chris Wallace went in to save Joe Biden. But we'll see how everything works out. I'm not expecting much. All right. Next side news story. Kanye West is on the California absentee ballot, but he is on the California absentee ballot as a vice presidential nominee. He is on there for the American Independence Party, is what he is on there for, or Independent Party. They added him as their vice presidential nominee. So he's not on the California absentee ballot as the presidential nominee, to my understanding, is for the vice presidential nominee under the American Independent Party. And also, that is in addition to him running for president, or as he calls, walking for president, under, I guess, the party that he created, which is the Birthday Party. Let me just go to the next story. All right, next side news story. FBI agents are asking the Supreme Court to remove personal liability from them because there has been a lawsuit filed by Muslim men, by a group of Muslim men who are on the no-fly list. The group of Muslim men are saying that the federal lawsuit, it's against more than a dozen agents, and it violated the religious freedom and Reformation Act. Restoration Act. Okay. The Religious Freedom and Restoration Act. The reason they're suing under that is because they're saying their rights were violated. But in addition to that, they're also saying the reason they were placed on the no-fly list is because the FBI agents asked them to become informants, and they said no. So when the Muslim men in this lawsuit, the group of Muslim men in this lawsuit said no, they didn't want to become informants within their community, then the FBI placed them, the agents they spoke with, on the no-fly list, which, like I said before, is more than about a dozen agents, give or take, that are being sued personally. And that's what the agents are asking the Supreme Court to remove from this, remove the liability, remove the personal liability of this. And that's what's happening. Obviously, it hasn't been decided yet. Anything that comes out in the future, if I see anything in my news sources, which all of this stuff, Washington Times. I usually go with the Washington Times. I believe I mentioned this before. For most of my news sources, because they seem to be the most balanced. They're not really for or against. It's just they tell you what you need to know, and that's that. So if you ever want to know, go to the Washington Times for anything that I'm talking about, and you can find these news stories in there with more detail than what I'm covering. All right. Now, another thing. There was a memo where Clinton okayed the targeting of President Trump to tie him to Russia. John Brennan wrote there was actually a 3-page memo from the CIA to James Comey. So that's one of the memos. But also John Brennan was one of the people who had handwritten notes about the whole situation. This goes back to what Rick Grinnell was saying about a week ago when he had said he was on Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo. And he had said that outside of what he had already declassified, other agencies have documents that would exonerate the president, and those agencies need to release those documents. And Maria Bartiromo asked him again, just to be clear, she's like, hey, you're saying other agencies have information? And Rick Grinnell was like, yes, other agencies have information exonerating the president, and those agencies need to step up and release those documents. Which this dovetails into what my morning political thought is for today. I believe that it's one of two things is where I'm at on this. I believe the alleged attempt on President Trump's life, and I say alleged because alleged, there isn't any proof, but I've really been thinking about this. I've been thinking about it. I've been just listening to my gut, my intuition. It's just strange to me that this happens now. President Trump has been doing all of these rallies. He's been going all of these places. In one day he went to Florida for the Latino Summit. Then he went to Atlanta for the Black Summit as well, to unleash his platinum plan for the Black community. And then did a rally, was also in Washington doing the Amy Coney Barrett thing. Even before that, he was doing other rallies. He was all over the place. And every single time, everything came back negative. Anybody who deals with the president, it always comes back. They always have to be tested, and everything always comes back negative. But all of a sudden, out the blue, all of these positive cases happen. And it just doesn't add up. And the other thing about this is, why are all of these positive cases related to people who are for or with the president? Is something just isn't adding up here, or it's just mostly Republicans. I don't, it's not making sense. So I'm under the impression that he believes or knows there was an attempt on his life, and he's like, I'm about to declassify everything, which happened in the tweet. He put out the tweet saying, I'm declassifying everything related to the Russia situation, and he said no redactions, none, no redactions. I believe that was due to what happened, or the other one. The reason that he's in this situation in his administration in regards to all the positive cases is because he was planning on declassifying the stuff anyway. I feel like it's one of the two. And I wish I had more time to do research before, because when I get up in the morning, I check things out, I pull information, and then obviously I've been sick a few days. But I know I had heard before, and I need to research this. I'm going to have to carve out some time. I might do that tonight. Where with President Kennedy, before he was assassinated, he was looking to declassify something. I had heard that. I want to look into that. I'm going to dig, and I need to find some sources that are reputable. I'll search through DuckDuckGo or something like that. I won't do a search through Google, which, by the way, they're censoring him again on President Trump. They're censoring him on Twitter. They're censoring him on Facebook when he mentioned the China Wuhan virus and the cases and the flu and all that stuff. And President Trump also tweeted Section 230. So for these tech companies, the technocracy, they better hope that President Trump doesn't win and gets a Republican House and Senate, because I promise you, if President Trump wins and he gets a Republican majority in the House and Senate, it's over for the tech companies. There will be retribution. It's going to happen. With all these shenanigans they've been pulling, there will be retribution. And I don't blame him. So yeah, but back to the President Kennedy thing. Someone had said that President Kennedy was looking to declassify some stuff right before he was assassinated. And I want to check the validity of that. So I'm going to carve out some time. If I don't do it tonight, I will definitely do it this weekend. But I'm looking to carve out some time. I want to know more about that, because it wouldn't surprise me. But President Trump, this isn't a huge, I don't see it as a huge deal with the whole Russia thing. We just declassified UFOs this year. And it's like, and that's the other thing. It landed flat. I feel like people were just like, UFOs, we already knew. Or UFOs during 2020. It's 2020. Everything's been happening during 2020. Who cares? But yeah, we declassified UFOs. That was declassified. So I don't think the declassification of the Russia documents, I feel, is in the same category as the UFOs. We already know it's a hoax. We already know that this was a setup. So you're just confirming what we already knew. So why would you get bent out of shape? And I'm talking about the FBI and CIA and so forth. Why would these agencies, the upper echelons, the deep state, get bent out of shape when we already know? In addition to that, we already know the media is not going to cover it. As soon as all of this stuff is fully out in the open, unredacted, the media is not going to cover it. They're not. At least not the mainstream. And by mainstream, I mean most. So they're going to run cover for them anyway. It's not that huge of a deal. I don't know if this is going to hurt John Durham and Bill Barr's current pursuit, which the president did retweet the president did retweet someone's tweet yesterday. It's that meme of, or GIF or whatever, of the guy screaming at Bill Barr, arrest somebody or arrest someone. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I still believe Bill Barr is a stand-up guy. I'm not picking up the vibe that he, like I said, I don't believe he is for or against the president. In a way, I might say he may not even like the president. He's just more for the presidency, the office of the president. And he's about fairness. So him and John Durham, I believe, are crossing their T's, dotting their I's, because when they bring what they bring, it has to be perfect. There can't be a mistake anywhere. And President Trump's frustration obviously is that you have all of these people running around telling these lies, and we haven't had any indictments yet, besides Kevin Kleinsmith, but he pleaded guilty. He went ahead and pleaded guilty. Kevin Kleinsmith, again, quick refresh, was the former FBI lawyer who changed CIA communication, where the CIA said Carter Page was one of our assets, and Kevin Kleinsmith changed it and said Carter Page was not an asset of the CIA. But that's the only thing we've had so far. So, I don't know. What I do know is that it's just strange that this happened to the president and his administration, and this hasn't happened to a bunch of Democrats or really anybody else that I can think of. This was several people on top of several people. So it's just not making sense. And I believe the declassification is related to it somehow. Whether he was planning on declassifying before it happened, or now he's so over it because he feels there was an attempt, he's saying, okay, I'm declassifying everything now. I feel it's one of the two. That's just me. Do I have any proof? No. But I'm speculating is what I'm doing. So yeah, that's all I have for my morning political thought. Thank you everyone who have been liking, sharing, subscribing, supporting, doing all of that good stuff. And again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to any of the channels, BitChute, Daily Motion, or YouTube, or the podcast, The Purple Elephant Show.com for the main podcasting platform, The Purple Elephant Show on Instagram, The Purple Elephant Show on Parler, at RealTPES on Twitter, Facebook.com/The Purple Elephant Show, and of course The Purple Elephant Show on all the video platforms I mentioned earlier. Thank you again for your support. I hope you're having an awesome, awesome Wednesday. Until next time, be blessed.